set a course for R&R?
You read my mind. I'm thinking massage, steak, hot tub. Or maybe it should be hot tub, steak.
Whoa, not so fast, Kimasabi. I got orders coming in. Wilson here, I copy. Roger that, HQ. We're on our way.
What now?
I'm supposed to take you to File. Looks like the time lock didn't come online as it was supposed to.
And that's my problem, how?
I don't give the orders. They're saying there's a temple there. They think we'll let you turn it on.
Sorry, Sam. We need you to just finish this out. You're our only guy in the area right now.
I'm flattered.
You should be. The 2 Syrian generators you turned on didn't start the time lock.
Hey, I didn't design them.
But we think we figured out the problem.
Let me guess. There's a 3rd generator.
I wish it were that easy. It looks like there's a safety switch on File that prevents the time lock from activating. Kind of like a failsafe.
Fail-safe? Is that some kind of vault you keep all your fail in? Because I love you, Quinn, but a fail-safe is sounding more and more like an apt description of this mission. Where is this switch I'm supposed to flip exactly? You don't know, do you?
We know what island it's on.
Glad I'm going into battle with a clear plan.
Here you go. If you need me, I'll be at 20,000 feet, headed the hell away from here.
Love you too.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to Serious Sam 3 Extended Edition. And we are currently in Gathering of the Gods. We've lost all of our weapons, we only have our hands to defend ourselves with. Which, you know, can work. As I'm sure I can demonstrate right here. I'm gonna tear this guy's heart out. And if this island were filled with only these guys, I could spend my time meticulously tearing out their hearts, or I could also use the mutilator, which we still have access to, or I could also use a gun. You know, let's just pick up our pistol right here. And we're gonna start this level off by actually collecting one secret on top of this roof, which is this first aid kit. There are 8 secrets in this level, and this level is really unique and I love it because it takes place on this island. I think the DLC is probably my favorite in terms of levels for all of Serious Sam 3, honestly. Like, I have a couple of favorites from Serious Sam 3's main campaign, but, you know, this is cool. I like this concept where you're just kind of trapped on an island and doing different things just spawns a bunch of different enemies. I think it's a really neat thing about the DLC levels in this game, so I'm glad to see that it was introduced, and the 2 levels after this are also pretty interesting as well. But we'll get to those in due time. First of all, I wanted to kill that guy with the clear skeleton head. Well, I guess we'll have to wait to do that another time. I just need to eliminate this last guy right here, which is this cave demon. There are only 3 cave demons on this level finally. I gotta question why they're placed here to begin with, but, you know, whatever. You might as well put them somewhere, I guess, just to make the player hate themselves even more. And right now, I'm gonna show off these little sheds as well, like the one that this guy's guarding. We can't open these. We need a key. And we're going to ignore that patrolman over there, for now at least, so that way we can go collect the key. Unless he took notice of us? No, I guess a different guy took notice of us. He really doesn't care, does he? Oh well. Anyway, clear skeletons. We want to make sure we don't get hit by the skelety dudes. Because Halloween is over. And it's kind of funny how, like, department stores out there are already decorating for Christmas. And it's kind of even more ironic because here in Canada we celebrate Thanksgiving earlier, so it's a little bit different for us. We almost have justification for putting up Christmas decorations now. Although I haven't been downtown lately, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Here's the keys that we need, and some dialogue.
The key to the city. Always wanted one of these.
Sort of dialogue, sort of one-liner. This cutscene shows us where we have to go, and we will head towards the entrance. After we kill these kamikazes, and as Natrixa implies, we could also just open up these sheds and pick up a few interesting things. And believe me, there are lots of interesting things. We have weapons to recollect, such as shotguns, and a rocket launcher, and a sniper rifle. And, that's one thing I really need to comment on, is that, you know, we lost all of our guns, but we haven't lost all of our ammo, because we really shouldn't be in this level right now, considering the fact that it is, by default, just DLC. And it kind of screws things up because, you know, I still have a stash of like 90 rockets or something in my inventory right now. I'm not really supposed to have these at the moment because, well, DLC. But it's different here. And that's the odd thing, is that the developer could have easily just had me lose all of my ammunition, but he must have been feeling nice. And it probably will help us in the long run, especially when it comes to a weapon which we will be acquiring at the very tail end of this level, actually, but sort of leads into the next level afterwards. And that guy looked really stiff up there. Anyway, secret over here. We want to break down this pillar which is hiding some secret rockets. And also that guy, apparently. There we go. And for our rockets, we can pick up this rocket launcher inside. And this rocket launcher is going to be pretty essential because it has 100 rockets in it. And oh my goodness, why? What did I do to deserve all of these rockets? I've also nearly forgotten to pick up my own personal... That's not good. Oh dear, I guess he was stuck back here. I hadn't even noticed until now. Right, I'm gonna pick up this melee weapon right now, which is an axe. It sort of functions like a katana, but it's an axe, so it's different. Therefore, you will respect the differences here. But you can also bloody this weapon up, which is actually, pretty satisfying. I'm gonna try and get an opportunity to do that to a couple of Nars. Not that guy. I preferably not go melee a bomber. That's usually not the best option. But it also works pretty well against clear skeletons if you can get the timing nailed down right. Now, I need a shotgun as well, so I'm gonna go acquire this shotgun right here. And there's a bunch of enemies down there. I might as well take care of them for the time being. So you do have like set enemy spawns in this level. There are also a couple of weirder enemy triggers as well, where you'll just find enemies spawning in designated locations almost at random. Like right here, this area, there will pretty much always be enemies spawning. There's also just the area around the corner over there, and it's a little bit weird the way this level is kind of structured. Now, there are a couple enemies inside this temple area. One of them is guarding, well, two of them more accurately are guarding a double-barreled shotgun. I want that double-barreled shotgun, so I will use any means necessary to go collect it, even if that means killing any of these poor defenseless skeletons. Oh yes, these poor defenseless skeletons. Also, you, go away. In fact, I'm gonna go snap this guy's neck. That's how much I don't care about him. And we can pick up our double-barreled shotgun. I'm gonna make a quick save right here, just to be safe. You never know when you need to quick save. Also, you never know if that guy's gonna be there or not. But I do know, because I'm not you, and I know from experience that he is there pretty much 24/7 every time you pick up a double-barreled shotgun. Now, since there are gonna be a bunch of enemies spawning pretty much all the time, I might occasionally just kind of run outside, check and see who's wandering around, and then quickly retreat back inside to do plot-related things. So, I'm gonna go do plot-related things after I kill this Gnar out here, I think. Yeah, he noticed me. Alright, good. I just wanted to make sure he was aware of the things that are happening around him. I think? Is he still down here? Where is he? Oh, he's just running into a wall. Or she, rather. You know what? This kind of leads us into another secret anyway, so I might as well show this off. Also take damage by landing in water because video games. There's a buoy over here. Hey, if you look down, you can see a rocket launcher over here. So I just need to run over that, and I'll consider that my secret rocket launcher stash if I'm in desperate need of a rocket launcher. I'm gonna go take this key and open up this door that these guys were guarding right now. So, open up the door, and there are, I think, a couple of Egyptian tablets in this level. I think there's like 2. There's one down here, and there's one in a temple that's up above, which I will show off. But we need to head down into this Syrian temple anyway, because there is an item of absolute importance that we need.
Sam, are you inside the temple yet? We don't have much time.
Nice cans.
Excuse me?
On the statue. Hellfire better watch out. This one's stacked like a tree on Christmas morning.
Glad we could find something that could get you interested in history. Wait a second. Does she have wings?
Not where I was looking, but yes.
That's Isis, the goddess of fertility.
I can see why.
We need you to focus, Sam. Get that statue and put it on her plinth.
Plinth.
Plinth. Her pedestal. You know, in the temple. On the surface.
And right you are, we will deliver dear Isis to the temple after we eliminate these foes which are just sort of standing outside. Also this guy, who's their pet, I'm going to assume. And we will deliver the statue when we can. And by that I mean when there aren't any enemies just kind of breathing down our necks, such as these guys. I'd consider them to be breathing down my neck right now. And we still have these shotguns. It would be nice to actually get a chance to use the shotguns once again. I could also use the Mutilator here. In fact, if you're just playing this level normally, the Mutilator is really not a bad option if you know how to use it, so do give it a shot. Even against some of the tougher enemies like Scrapjacks and Arachnoids, it does wonders for your soul. So I would strongly recommend you give the Mutilator a shot if you can. And with that advertisement of the Syrian Mutilator out of the way, we can go check out this Egyptian tablet, which speaks of an ancient sniper rifle over here. Also another magnum, and enemies which you can see you behind walls. So, you know, they're trying. You have to give them credit for trying sometimes. I'm gonna go get rid of these guys right over here. Like, you know how I said there's a bunch of enemies that just have a tendency to spawn, like, out over here? I wasn't lying. They're usually just kind of a bunch of them just sort of sitting out here, and, yeah. It's a little bit messy. But that kind of adds to the charm of the level because, you know, everything kind of goes differently every time you do this level, in my opinion. Like, there's definitely a set order that you can do things in. And the extended version of this level actually kind of increases the amount of different ways you can do this level. Like, you know, it's better to just kind of show what happens when I just place the statue of Isis on the pedestal right here. So when you do that, you will get a series of a couple of cutscenes playing, which shows you the statues you need. This is the gathering of the gods, after all. We need to take these gods and reunite them all together, and magic stuff will happen that will progress the plot. And it's actually giving us access to all of the statues right now, which is something that's done pretty differently for this level. In the original DLC levels, you have to get one statue at a time in a set order, but here, you can get them in basically any order, and you can pick them all up at once if you so desperately want to. And that will probably decrease your chances of survival in the end, because they will be spotting so many enemies when you do this, but hey, it's different, and I like that. It's a good little thing. Good on you, mod developer. That's pretty cool. So, me being the really exciting person I am, I'm going to get them in the traditional order, if I can even remember the traditional order. And starting off, we need to head straight to the left of us. You can see there's an arachnoid out there. There's also a couple of smaller arachnoids just kind of wandering around their mama. But we just need a couple of rockets to deal with this foe, and that is that. She is down. If you're really obsessed with saving rockets, like, I think in the original level you only get like 35 at your disposal in total, then you can kill the larger arachnoids with the Mutilator, and that's incredibly satisfying if you can do that. Dangerous, but certainly satisfying. So, you know, do give it a try. And having killed these enemies, I am going to go enable a tarp right over here. This trap is pretty dangerous in this version because they spawn a bunch of bombers up top, and, well, you mostly just kind of want to circle strafe a lot. And once you kill those two Gnars, the barrier will go down. I'm going to start running in this direction because this direction looks lovely this time of the year right now. It spawns a lot of scary enemies I'd rather not tango with at the moment, to be perfectly honest. Look how far that guy was dancing in that direction. There we go. And we'll take care of the bombers from a safe distance, because bombs hurt, man. They're pretty painful. I wouldn't want to get shot with bombs. What kind of madman are you? You don't know me. You don't live near me. You wouldn't be able to tell what kind of strange obsessions I might have, but they don't have anything to do with bombs, I can tell you that much. Yeah, there's also a bull here as well. That bull's actually pretty dangerous. I don't think the bull can drown, but if he can, you know, I'd want to live to see the day where that bull would drown. Oh jeez, oh god, that was not a comfortable situation to be in. Now he just appeared right out of nowhere too. What choice do I have in that situation? I have to remember to melee the kamikazes. This is something I've actually really been forgetting lately, so I still have the ability to do that. And it appears as though there's actually a skeleton that's stuck underwater, and it's really difficult to see things underwater in this game. I think they sort of properly introduced the concept of swimming in the DLC levels, but there's technically a spot in one of the levels of the original game where you can do that, and it's kind of silly. I think oh yeah. Well, son! I need to watch Castaway at some point. Right, anyway, moving on, what was I saying? Right, something about the fact that you could swim in a certain area in the original Serious Sam 3 campaign. I think I showed that off in my original blind run of Serious Sam 3. So, if you're interested in viewing that, I have a whole channel dedicated to videos. But yeah, Wilson's Secret. I still have to watch Castaway. It's probably on Netflix or something. I'll probably get a chance to do that at some point. I'm gonna go pick up this ammo from my sniper rifle. I think it's pretty important. Also because I think doing this will spawn some enemies. I think. I'm not entirely certain if that was the case. But maybe it will. Maybe it will. And if it does, hey, I'll be pretty proud of my accomplishments. I know how to surround myself with people who hate me. Are we good? I think we are just dandy. So I'm gonna go pick up some armor. And I'm going to go retrieve the first statue. Then maybe we'll go tackle another secret or two. The secrets I'm getting, I don't really care in what order I'm honestly collecting these secrets in. I just want to do anything I want. So, I'm going to do anything I want. And the first thing I want to do is pick up the statue of Hathor, goddess of cats. Or something like that, I'm sure. And we'll kill a few more enemies. I think picking this up will mostly spawn Gnars and clear skeletons, and yes, small arachnoids, the midget ones. They're around. They've gone places. Like there's one out there, just hiding in the tall grass. And I think there's one right there. And there should be two just kind of sitting next to each other out there. And I think those are all the arachnoids for the time being, so... Oh wait, nope. Did I miss? I'm quite convinced I missed. I am just a really poor shot with the sniper rifle, it seems. You'll have to forgive me. Sometimes the bullets just like to travel in places where I'd rather they not go. That's just the way things are in this game sometimes. Also because I'm a terrible shot with sniper rifles in general. Okay. I think that should take care of anything. Let's go deliver the statue right now and spawn a few more enemies. Such as just running back to this place, which always spawns enemies, no matter what situation you're in. There's enemies there, man. Shotgun. Shotgun, all of you, every single one of you. And I think that's all of them. Yeah, that should be all of them. Right, let's go deliver the statue to this pedestal and watch a small little cutscene play of the statue icon lowering into the ground, sort of. Now, once you accomplish this, clear skeleton over there. Hopefully not another one. Hopefully not another one. I guess not another one. Right, there's also clear skeletons out in that direction, and a scrapjack. And we want to be extra careful around those guys. Oh god, the scrapjack is painful. The scrapjack is not your friend. So, don't get hit by the scrapjack. I don't even think he saw us during most of that time, so that's actually pretty helpful. We can just shoot him with a bunch of rockets right now, and he should go down. There we go. In fact, I think he just killed a clear skeleton for me, which is immensely helpful. I'm quite gratuitous to that man, even though he's dead. So that kind of ruins things. There's also another scrapjack over there. You could sort of see him with the sniper rifle right here. I'm not gonna kill him with the sniper rifle. I'm gonna kill him with the mutilator, which is pretty dangerous. But if you can pull this off, you will go down in legend as the maimer of scrapjacks. Also, another clear skeleton. I thought I saw another one whiz by. There's just a whole bunch of skeletons right here, which is to be expected from Serious Sam. Especially serious difficulty. That's one thing I did actually pretty recently, is I decided to go back into like Serious Sam Classic, as I said in the previous video. I decided that I would try conquering the game in serious difficulty, by playing Serious Sam Classic's Revolution. And if you haven't bought that, go buy it right now. It's pretty cheap and it's early access. And, you know, I will confess, you know, quick save quite a fair amount, but I had a pretty good time playing serious difficulty, I'll be perfectly honest. That's something I never thought I would ever say, but I actually did enjoy serious difficulty on Serious Sam Classic quite a lot, and, well, lately I've just been trying to get into co-op games with other people, just doing serious difficulty and whatnot, just because it's a lot of fun. I love it. So, if you like Serious Sam Classic, yo, I'm always up for a game of Series 7 Classic co-op. It's good stuff right there. I play an unhealthy amount of Series 7 Classic multiplayer. Okay, get rid of you. Because picking up that rocket launcher actually spawned all of those biomechs, I think that's actually fairly noteworthy. And, oh, there's another skeleton behind me. Where are you? There you are. It took time for him to approach us, but he gathered the courage to finally face his fears. And we're going to go back to these posters right here, because right next to these posters are a bunch of boxes and a cave. And when you enter this cave, you'll end up summoning a giant legion of spiders. And it's pretty good to get rid of the spiders using the rockets. And, oh wow, I think I got rid of all of them. I have had plenty of cases where a bunch of spiders actually just got stuck right over here, and they can't really figure out how to get past that area, so good on them. I'm glad they actually cooperated with me this time. Let's leave this cave right now, because I actually want to go to another secret, which is indicated by that palm tree over there. That palm tree is actually floating. If you get a closer look at it, you will see it is actually a floating tree. One of those new species which were, you know, they were brought into the ecosystem a little bit of time before Mental invaded the Earth. And we were trying to use them as camouflage. It didn't work because we were in Egypt and these trees, well, in certain places they just don't come by often. But you could see, floating tree. Also, there's a cannon here! We can't pick up this cannon! We can, however, watch what happens when we hit E to use the cannon. I love this secret. I do think another thing that the DLC levels did right for Serious Sam 3 is that they included a lot more in the way of Serious Sam-ish secrets. Like, a lot more in the terms of, you know, kind of humorous ones. So, I'm glad that one exists. That's one of my favorite ones in the entire game. You can also sort of consider the Wilson one of those fanny secrets, if you so desire. We will be seeing a couple more humorous ones in the levels to come. But for now, we have an objective, and that objective tells me that I need to go pick up another shotgun, because I'm not carrying enough of these things. And I also kind of want the armor that's sitting up there. Yeah, I really want that armor. I'm just really good at losing armor, it seems. Give me the armor. Come on. I think I might need to actually just sort of sprint jump my way up, and there we go. I got it eventually, and I picked up that secret earlier, didn't I? If I'm super paranoid, I might just end up running over it again, just to be safe. Okay, we've gotten those two secrets, and now we have the statue of, yes. Now, doing this will cause barriers to appear around you. And I think it's sort of possible to actually get past this barrier. I think. I'm not entirely certain, but I'm pretty sure there's a method where if you, like, just somehow manage to jump just over that wall or something, then you can sort of escape. But the barrier will still be there until you, like, kill certain amounts of enemies. And I think that also includes these 3 clear skeletons. 3? 2? 2. Okay, fine. You know, maybe there's a third one, maybe there isn't. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and spawn this bull. At first, it's not too bad. It only spawns 2 bulls. And then they decide to throw a barrage of Rocketeers at you, which is kind of questionable at heart, because Rocketeers, they don't really do very much. Just kind of, well, we'll spawn right in. We'll make the roar noises and pretend to be threatening. It works for a little bit of time. And then they spawn a bull at some point. And then they spawn a Scrapjack over to the left of us. He hasn't spawned yet. That's an odd occurrence. I think you have to kill a certain amount of... There we go. It took a little bit of time, but eventually, like, that summoned him, I guess. That was really strange. I think you have to actually kill a certain number of Rocketeers for him to spawn. So, a little bit of interesting trivia right there. Now you know, and knowing is a quarter of the battle. Now, are there any more enemies out here? Because the battle music is still playing. There's probably still enemies here. Maybe a Gnar? Hopefully not another Scrapjack. If it were another Scrapjack, that would be spooky. Well, I'm not seeing him right now, so I'm sure he'll spawn on his own accord, or maybe make his way towards us. For now, I just want to head inside this temple and, place the statue down and watch the magic happen. And there we go. Two statues of the 2 ones that we could collect. Actually, that's a lie. We could collect as many as we want right now. And I hear a kamikaze out there somewhere. This is a bit of an uncomfortable situation to be in. I think a bunch of the enemies just spawned, right around that area, so I'm just trying to be a little bit cautious in how I approach them. In fact, I'm really hoping that those kamikazes I'm hearing right now did not actually see me, because that would be really terrible. Alright. Alright, here's the plan. We're gonna walk out this way. More enemies up here? And where are these kamikazes? I think my sound might have inversed itself in the midst of the recording, which is not great. So I'm going to only have to rely on the sounds that are happening in front of me. It sounds like there's just a bunch of... It sounds like there's kamikazes to the left of me right now, but in reality they're to the right of me. Okay, I figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out, guys. This could kill me, actually. This is not the greatest situation to be in, I've noticed. Jeez, where is everyone? Where are all my friends? They're all the way out there. What are you guys doing, man? This is not how you treat a lady. But I guess it's how you treat Sam, so fair enough, I suppose. Where is this enemy? You are over here, right. I'm in a really dangerous situation. I don't want to go anywhere. I lost a ton of health. It's just those minor sound issues. Just those small sound issues. They mess up your entire day. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just see if I can fix this real quick. And there we go. It is now time to quick save, I've deemed, as I would have preferred to not lose that much health. Just, good God, that sound issue just nearly killed me right there. Okay, now I know where, at least now know where some of the enemies are emerging from, so that's pretty helpful, I'd say. I just need to keep a watch of my flank from time to time. There you are. And, still more of you? Okay. Wow, there's a lot of kamikaze spawns right over here. This is pretty ridiculous. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore any other sounds that might be playing right now, because there is a secret up here. It's a mini secret technically, but it's a secret nonetheless. And we'll sprint right towards this 100 health power-up. Boom! And a few enemies appear to have gotten stuck down there, which is actually pretty helpful, because I can kill them in the really cheap fashion. And anytime I get a situation like this, I will surely take advantage of it. It's pretty important to me. One of these days, you two will be grouped right next to each other for an instant kill. Such as right now. There we go. I think that's taking care of most of the enemies, except for the one that happens to see me right now, which is... It could be anywhere, really. Huh. It's odd things, this music sometimes. The music is just a lie in the end. Right then. Now I can probably go deal with the enemies that I was referring to earlier. I just need to make my way towards them first of all. I believe they are positioned just around this temple over here, which is where we'd normally get the 3rd out of 4 statues. Also, skeletons. Prefer if they'd not get in the way of my business. Wait for this guy to finish what he's doing. There's a bomber up there, so I'll take care of him right now. Could barely see him right there, but, you know, believe me, he was there. I was just trusting what I saw with my own eyes, man. And that didn't take care of you, are you? Goodness, you're invincible. There we go. And a few more clear skeletons over here. I say a few more because there's actually one hiding... Hello? Oh, another bomber. Right, there's another one hiding in the temple right there. I'm quite convinced... Yeah, there he is. Just needed to wait a moment for him to actually show up. Okay, there we go. God, well, you just suddenly turned a corner and someone's trying to kiss you. Please, don't do that again. Right. That should be all of them. The music has stopped playing, therefore, I think I can go ahead and pick up this statue right now, which is the statue of Horus. I'm gonna use the rocket launcher right here. because rocket launchers are cool. Yeah. Also, shooting biomechs, also pretty cool. Hopefully he will not shoot back as soon as I leave this place. Wait for those rockets to sail by. And, 2 more should take care of this guy. There we go. Now, having picked up the statue, that will also spawn a bunch of harpies out in the distance, and I'd prefer to take care of them from a bit of a safer vantage point, hopefully without enemies spawning in my face. So, if you're familiar with killing harpies, then you'll know, yeah, sniper rifle is still pretty great, as I'm sure you saw decades ago. They're not really moving forward anytime soon, I've noticed. That's strange behavior. I think they just don't really know how to reach this area. That's probably why. Okay, well those are the harpies taken care of. That was a really spooky experience. And now we have bulls. They're dead. It's good to have this extra sniper rifle ammo on me. Like, the level is considerably easier when you have a lot of rockets available to you. But even having that extra amount of sniper rifle bullets, it's almost fair, in a sense, to have this extra amount. So I'm pretty pleased. So now we've picked up that statue, and we shall take it over here? Yes, over here. The horse statue has been placed, and now we have just 1 more to collect. And it is guarded by a bunch of biomechs. Oh boy, those biomechs are not our friends. Neither is this clear skeleton. I don't want to go get hugged by more clear skeletons right now. That's not my idea of a good time. I just want to live. I want to live free. That is why I'm running out all the way in this direction to kill this guy who obviously I knew he was there in the first place. And, you know, there's enemies out there. You can see there's a huge biomech. I don't really care about them right now because these rocks, I don't like these rocks. They hide to me a cave of treasure and electricity, finally! Enough power to generate this island to light up once more and be super sparkly. I think that was part of the original design plan. I'm gonna see if I can kill this guy with 5 rockets from a distance, hopefully. Like, I have to give this guy credit, at least he's shooting at me for once. I don't think I've really seen that happen very often with that guy. Mostly, I don't know, it's just plenty of times I've stood at this distance and the biomechs just tend to refuse to shoot at you in the first place, which is pretty strange behavior. Now, when you kill one of the biomechs, that spawns a bunch of kamikazes around that area, so before we get a chance to kill that guy, the other guy's just kind of standing there innocently, we just have a whole bunch of kamikazes to kill. Also, you can run through palm trees in this game for no explicable reason, even though I'm quite convinced you can still shoot them down, like, why? That's a bit of an odd one right there. But whatever, whatevs. I'll just go ahead and get a multi-kill and go on a killing spree. My voice cannot go any deeper octaves than this, which is kind of depressing. Oh yes, let me shoot at this guy with a few more rockets and then that will be the end of him, I'm hoping. Please die, you don't serve any more purpose other than to die. Pretty sure that's why these enemies exist in the first place, other than to hurt you. They only exist to die. Which is truly a sad existence, that being. Right then, okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're pretty good to pick up the final statue. I'm just gonna maybe check and see if there's actually any armor around here. I guess there isn't. Okay. Well, that does kind of make me a bit of a sad bunny, but we can pick up this final statue of Guy. This is the guy who is holding a cane and, another thing. I don't really know. I think it's used for, like, blowing out candles or something. It is the Osiris statue! And right here, we get introduced to a new enemy type. Reptiloids. These bastards. Oh my goodness, Reptiloids. I have a lot to say about Reptiloids. Like, in this game, I don't really consider them to be really terrible enemies. In fact, I'm kind of glad they're in this DLC, as just kind of included as, you know, interesting little extra enemies you could have. But, oh god, in Serious Sam HD, those guys are just, might as well be the devil incarnate. They are some of the worst enemies I've ever fought. Just because, you know, in the original Serious Sam games, the classic ones, they're not so bad because they have a very vivid color. that indicates where they are. And that's pretty helpful for getting rid of them. But in Serious Sam HD, they are such a color that they just blend in super well with basically anything that's green. And if you play the second encounter, there's a lot of green in that game. There's just so much green. And the reptoids tend to be stuck in places where they're sort of... This is a really good functioning door right here. They tend to be stuck in places like behind trees and such, and it's just awful. It's not a fun experience. And that's where my distaste for reptoids grows from. And even then, in Serious Sam 3, just because their color is so dull, I find they actually do sort of still blend in with some of the backgrounds and some of the later levels, because they are placed in areas after the DLC levels as well. And, it's not the most fun I've ever had in a video game, I'll tell you right now. But whatever, we'll get to that when we get to that. At least in this DLC, they exist. So we picked up all the statues, but I also want to damage myself a bunch right here, because there's a trap health. Picking this up will spawn a couple of Gnars, and also a bull. And that bull is really scary. Do not get hit by the bull. In fact, it can't just spawn one, it has to spawn two just to spite you. So do be mindful of the fact that the bulls exist. Nope, 3 bulls, never mind. I think one of those bulls might have actually been a spawn from, like, earlier. Yeah, there's just another one that's sort of standing out there. So right, that trap health will spawn 2 Gnars and 2 bulls, and the other 2 bulls, I think, are spawned by picking up the statue of Osiris. I'm quite convinced. Did I get all the secrets in this level? I did. So I think we're just about done with this area, actually. We've collected all the statues, and now all that's left is to deliver the final one to its proper pedestal. First, let me just check and see if there are any enemies just kind of sulking about out here, because yeah, it's to be expected. And maybe not. Maybe I killed all the enemies. I wasn't really paying attention when I looked at the statistics screen, so if you're going to type in the comments that I should have just paid more attention to that, well, good for you. Oh yeah, I forgot about the sequence as well. Every one of these pedestals has to go down individually before we actually get some dialogue, which involves the statue of Isis right here. Just give it a second, it will happen.
What's happening, Sam? Come on, you're my eyes and ears here.
Some kind of stone lozenge just rose up out of the floor. Quinn, what
That's the seal of Isis. It should unlock the door to the next chamber.
Right, and that it shall. So we will take the seal of Isis, and I'm actually going to see how many rockets do I have. I have 30 rockets. I used a whole lot of them in this level, so you know that secret rocket launcher that's over here? I'm going to go pick that up right now, just to be safe. Just so we can also hear that noise play that usually indicates when you found a secret. And there we go. That was Gathering of the Gods, and we are just about to end the level after we place the seal of Isis on the door down below. And we will actually acquire a new weapon out of this as well, which is pretty handy. It is a wonderful, wonderful weapon, which I cannot wait to use in the next level. Oh yes. But first, a cutscene to show us this new weapon.
Another key? Did I mention how much I like keys? Where do I put this thing?
We think it unlocks something in Abu's symbol.
Abu, huh?
Check Netrissa. I've uploaded the coordinates.
Where do I meet the chopper?
So...
There's no chopper, is there?
we can't get anything in or out right now. This is the hottest zone in Egypt.
Fantastic.
We picked up a motorboat anchored about a quarter mile from your location. Try to get it and head to Abu Simbel.
You know me. If it floats, I'll make it work. This should help.
What?
Let's just call it my little secret.
And there you have it. This... wow, how about that? We got all the kills. Most excellent. And we picked up all of the secrets, which is actually a little more important than kills, but you know how it is. Anyway, the next time we play, we will be tackling Together Forever. So, thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day or evening. And I guess I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.